Hello, hello everyone. How's everyone doing today? Hope everyone can hear me okay. Hope everyone can hear me okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, yeah, let me start the Qbot. Remember the Qbot will be on Discord, not on Twitch chat. Or YouTube chat. It will be on Discord. But that is up and going. The queue will happen in a little bit, but first up we have a lesson. Okay. Ouch. I got a mosquito bite and I have stuff on it and I just scratched it without thinking. Yeah. It's in stream chat on Discord. But yeah, the queue should work there. All your benefits should be there. And yeah. If anyone say have you guys seen the new website? I was up like most yesterday. Basically instead of playing video games or doing anything fun, I was unnecessarily productive, working on making the website look better and functional. All right. So the okay, and I will do that for Buzzsaw later. Focus on yeah. Okay. Thanks for letting me know exactly which dates. That'll help me narrow it down a lot. Um, so I will get that to you as soon as I can. You need a subscription. The decision chart is the Classy approach. Boop boop. Hopefully the link works. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's this whole document. Whole document. Does the Discord? Do you not have the role? Well, hold on. Before we see if it's anything wrong with my end, make sure that your Twitch account is synced up to your Discord. So in your Discord settings, you have to make sure that your Twitch account is synced up to your Discord profile. That way, the bot will know that hey, that Twitch account equals this profile. So before I check anything on my end, make sure that that's set up on your end. That's the only thing you have to do. Hello, Fallen Poet. Just waiting on plenty. Okay, so often I assume that my opponent has Sente when they don't. How can I tell? Well, you need to understand what Sente is. What does it mean, right? Sente means you need to respond. So, for example, um, you need to ask yourself, do you have weak groups? Like, that's the highest priority. Do you have weak groups? Okay, so what does that mean? Do I have a stone without a base near my opponent's stones? Do I have a stone that's about to get surrounded near my opponent's stones or behind my opponent's line of influence, right? All like that's understanding like what weakness is. Okay? So if you're weak, then you need to defend it. So if your opponent plays a move that makes you weak or takes your base or surrounds you, then that move is Sente because that means you have to fix something. And if you take into account Yosei, Sente means that you need to fix something. If you don't have to fix anything, if you don't need a base, if you're already alive, if it's just one stone and it's not a cutting stone or anything, um, and you don't have to fix anything, then it's not Sente. So you need it's understanding Sente is just understanding what is attack and what is defense. So understanding that getting surrounded is bad means you understand that threatening to surround is Sente. Hopefully that answers your question. Classy Approach series on YouTube can show some good examples of bases and stuff. Yeah, so the Classy Approach series, we're working on that actually. Like, just make your base, take the base, surround, run away, understanding what weakness is, what attack and defense is. We're actually doing that in the Classy Approach series on YouTube. And on Wednesdays. We're almost done with the 19Q to 15Q section on Wednesdays. We have one more next week, and then we'll go to 15Q to 10Q. But yeah, I think that's how you answer your question, is understanding what is and is not weak will understand what is and is not forcing. Yeah, if anyone has any problems with any of the things I've talked about, or any of the website or the Discord or any of that, let me know. I want to make it as easy as possible for you guys. So if you're having trouble, maybe someone else will also have trouble, which means I need to make that process easier. So let me know. All right, so it looks like I need to record a video on how to sync your Discord to Twitch. I'm pretty sure it's just you go to your user settings on Discord. I have streamer mode enabled, crap. And then click on connections. I can't see any of my stuff because I have streamer mode enabled because it hides my personal information on stream. Yeah. Yeah, I need to make a video on how to sync up your Patreon to your Discord and your Twitch to your Discord. That way you can get all the benefits. No worries. Ooh. Thank you for the follow. Oh, I just realized the alert box needs to be above that. Haha. Thank you for the follow, Bass. Okay, I think he's back. So ask if he's ready. All right. Ooh, nice, Fallen Poet.
Okay, 1 second. I need to fix something. Okay. Okay, do you hear me okay?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Awesome. Just turn you up a little bit. Okay, how have your games been going? Has everything been going good?
Well, I'm back from vacation, so that's a long trip.
Well, hopefully you had fun.
Oh yeah, just got to see my kids and stuff. So, let's see. Keep having problems in. I keep mentioning the round 50 to 75 area, where when I check with the AI, for instance, I may have been winning all the way and doing very well, and then suddenly, even if I win, it looks like there's a big gap in, where if I was black, then suddenly white was winning for 30, 40 points, and I had to somehow recover from that.
Okay.
Like to
Um,
figure out how not to get in that kind of a situation if it was
Well, that's
possible.
actually part of the learning experience. So first you work on your opening, you gain a lead, and then you lose that lead. You're like, okay, where am I losing the lead? And then you work on that section of the game, and then you get a little bit further, and then you lose the lead. And you work on the next section of the game, and you get a little bit further. And eventually you can do the whole game, and then you have to repeat the whole process when you level up, right? So that's
Yeah.
actually quite normal. It's just a matter of identifying where do you keep losing the lead, and then work on that section of the game. Like so, that's how you like self analyze. So it's not like it's bad. It's just part of the learning experience, part
Right.
of the
It's
learning process.
in my way of learning. It's just, I have to identify the problem before I can fix it.
Hmm.
So that's and
Exactly.
some of what you've done, in the you know basics has helped me some, to get think about some of the basics and things like that that maybe
Hmm.
I've disregarded somewhat as I've tried to progress. So that was helpful.
Yep.
And but I'm still trying to identify exactly what it is that I'm doing.
All right.
A little bit, I
Do you
think
have
I
a
noticed that.
do you have a game that we can look at that maybe will show what
Let me
you're not understanding?
let me see if I can get to one. Um, I can get to my games instead of somebody else's. Um, that was a good game. I've been kind of looking at games, in which I see that happen. I almost look at it as a loss, you know.
No, I
That,
mean, um, you got to be careful that you don't like pressure yourself too much because it's part like it's not bad to make mistakes. What's bad is not learning from the mistakes, right?
yeah.
So it's we got to make sure that we enjoy this learning process because if we don't then we'll stress ourselves out.
Okay, I got to get. Oh, shoot, that's not a good example. Um, we could just play. That's okay with me too. Um,
I think we just had
but
a
I
teaching game.
or just pick any one of the games that I
Okay,
lost.
we can look at the NL ESCO because that's an 8Q and you're 7Q now. So first off, congratulations on 7Q. But let's figure out what causes you to lose at like 8Q, and then there's another 9Q at 8.5. Like, what causes those little small detriments? Like, probably it's nothing major. Probably it's just some minor things that it's just more consistency. But we also want, to work on that consistency.
Maybe this one, Jeff 72, down about.
Jeff 72. Oh, Geoff 72. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce that. I was looking for a J. Okay, we can look at that one.
That might be good.
Review started.
Okay, I started a review for Geoff 72.
Okay.
It is pronounced Jeff. Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, I got to get to your review. Oh, there. I forgot about
All
that.
right. All right. So you are black. Okay, play Near
Yeah.
Insight. Attachments.
I don't
Okay.
understand why it sometimes puts me in as black when it seems uh, I should be white.
Oh,
I thought,
that's because the difference between so it says 8Q and 9Q, but you might be like 8.6 and he might be like 9.1 or something or whatever, and you're actually less than a full rank apart. Even though your ranks say the OR, the decimal places are not. So that's why you would have an even game, even though it says two different numbers. You might be really close in level. So that would be why you get
okay.
black. Alrighty. It's all fine so far. Right. This one's a little soon. There's still the right side, and then you can go on the left.
But I don't have a weakness over there yet, even. So there's nothing to
No, it's not about defense or offense. It's about big moves. Open sides before largest framework.
Oh, okay.
Also, so we're gonna play on the left, right? What do the basics tell us for playing on your opponent's large framework?
Basically, you need to um, make their area less.
Yep. So there's two ways to play on it. One is a reduction. So the reduction is identifying this line and playing on that line and pushing that line downwards. So a reduction would look something like this, right? Caps, shoulder hits,
Which
or
I
just
don't
somewhere in
like.
the center. Okay.
I
So,
think
but the idea is to understand that this line exists, and on
Right.
that line is a reduction. Past that line is an invasion. Okay. Past that line means we can get surrounded if we're not careful, and it's considered an invasion. So you use different tactics for reduction than you do for invasions. So reductions, you just keep the escape routes, you play fast, light, you run away. Invasions, you need to start looking at eye space very quickly. So invasions are more on the third line. So the two common ones is the 3/3 and approach a fourth line stone, neither of which we have. But we do have a third line move right here, which can make a 2 space on both sides. So this would be our very simple invasion. But invading on the fourth line is actually difficult. So it's not very basic. Because fourth...
This is in my intent is to directly attack if he gives me the opportunity, E15.
Yeah, so I understand that. But we have to be very careful because E15 is Aji. It's not an attack. Because we can't attack on white's control. We can only invade. So it's very careful that we don't use the wrong terminology because attacking tactics are much, much different than invading tactics. Invasions can use Aji to survive more quickly, and that's true. So, for example,
Okay, so let me.
Yep.
So my thing that I'm trying to accomplish actually is probably I'm not attacking is definitely not the right word, but what I'm trying to do is first separate the two groups. I think that I'm too weak on the third line if I did go down there and even if I made the base.
Mm-hmm.
So my intent is to play at D11, and then which if white responds, say at D13 or C12 or something like that, they're actually over concentrated. And if he plays at say C12 and I play at E15 at that point, that is very, very favorable for me. Because I can play directly to E13 and possibly to F11, making this a almost a live group in itself with in that kind of a situation.
Okay. Everything you said is kind of correct. But you're doing that thing where you're trying to. This is like 3Q level thinking. So technically you're correct. Technically you're correct that this has a lot of nice follow-ups actually. So if you try to attack from this side, then you start getting shapes like this. It actually is difficult to attack the stone. So maybe with reading you can justify it. However, let's work through like what the basics tell us. The basics tell us go on the third line first, okay? Then we say, okay, can I do something by using my opponent's Aji to do something a little bit better than the basic and use reading to prove it? So that's what you just did. What you said is correct. Now let's check the follow-ups, because you can defy the basics with good reading, but you're technically supposed to play basics up until like 3Q to 1 Dawn, right? But technically what you said is correct. Now let's see what the follow-ups are. He plays, and you peep. So this is not basic. Okay? If he goes on this side, it makes sense to peep and go here. But if he defends, it makes sense to go lean over here. The reason, or the difference is, which one is connected, which one isn't. How did that help you? What
Okay,
so
maybe
what is the goal? The goal is to invade on this side and use weakness to survive more efficiently than normal.
okay, so then from what you're saying, then I should actually be satisfied with the result that he played at C13. And that actually has accomplished my goal of over concentrating him.
Um
Now I can actually go over to C8 or and then go to C12, and then I have
yeah.
an even better base in the first place.
Yes. Basically you're trying to get a better result than this or this, right? You're trying to get a
Right.
better result than that. And you're using your opponent's Aji to try to get a better result. So that's the thing is first we're supposed to learn the basics so we have like a good rule of thumb of what is the minimum we should expect. Because with the basics, that's the minimum we can expect. Then we try to use Aji to do a little bit better than that. So it's very important that you think about it in the right order. Because if you don't understand that process, then you play this, which I think is a little bit overplay, because this looks like you're attacking white. Why? Because you're not connected. You're not making your stones work together. So if I'm white and I'm playing the basics, I'm the attacker here. I'm not playing defense. I'm playing offense because who controls the left side of the board? White does. That's every single stone white has played has been on the left. So of course white controls that area. So white is going to want to fight you here. You want to play. It's not perfect, no, but white should have the advantage in a complex fight. So you can play a diagonal, maybe a shoulder hit, or just a 1-point jump. Just something that defends your stone. You can even try to make a base, and if they try to take it, well, all of a sudden, like, you have stones to run away with. Maybe you can even go like this, and squeeze a little bit. You have stones you can run away with. Very easy, very quick, and that's even better than a reduction for destroying points. Okay?
Right.
So, I think remember when I said you're supposed to not be attacking, you're supposed to be playing defense? You're just using Aji to help yourself. So that's...
I don't really have a weakness, though.
So A is a weak group.
After he plays, yeah.
Well, it's
at
we
that
can
point, then I can play it as a group. Then I can strengthen it and make a base.
yeah.
Right?
So yes, but to defense is about staying connected when we do that. This is not connected.
But I don't have anything to connect with at that point.
Well, it's about about movement. So in Korea they call that hangma, which is it's movement and the type of movement, how you move around the board. So this is more like movement that stays connected and works together. So if you do this and I do this, how are your stones working together? It looks like you're trying to make white stones break, but that's attacking concepts, not defense concepts. Your stones are not working together.
Even if he does that, he's actually amplified his problem.
Yes, but he's also amplified yours, and you're dying faster.
But I'm only got one stone. He's played 2 stones in that area. I can still protect the 1 stone outside. I don't need to worry about that 1 stone at E15 anymore if I don't want to. Well, I don't.
I think
it's just 1 stone at that point.
I think we're seeing this left side situation completely differently. Because what I see is black has a weak group and a stone that is a little bit of Aji, but doesn't help the weak group at all. I just see like a bad exchange, like A for B just made a bad exchange to help C, because you're supposed to be helping C. That's what I see. Basics, I have a weak group on my opponent's side of the board. I want to help it, but you just made an exchange that didn't help it, regardless of whatever else it does. Basics wise, you did not help your weak group. So that's how I'm seeing the situation. If you disagree, that's okay. But let's go ahead and see. Let's get to the next idea, because otherwise we can talk about this for the entire hour.
Okay.
Okay. So I like this. You're coming back and you're working together. Okay. Okay. I think here, because at this point you've already gotten this Sente exchange. So stay with the main stone. You already have the stone that helps you.
I wasn't really comfortable with that.
Oh, he responded, so it's even better. Bamboo is normally good, but in this case, this is better. Simply because you are trying to run away that way. So which shape stays connected but gets out faster?
Okay.
So that's the only difference here. So this one I'm not really a fan of because the goal that I think you're going for is you want to make the A group a little bit less alive, a little bit unsettled. So when you're running in the B area, the A group is also getting pressured while you run. However, I don't think white is all that weak. So I'm not going to defend this. I'm going to play something like here. Your vital point's my vital point, right? I'm going to defend myself by running away, which also attacks you. So the exchange, even though you got exactly what you wanted, it feels like you attacked yourself instead of just running away and threatening to do it later. Like this.
I just
for this.
also didn't want to make it so too easy for him. I wasn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't want him to
but that's
connect,
attacking
so-
concepts again. You're trying yeah, you don't want your opponent to live easily when you're attacking, but you don't care about your opponent when you're playing defense. You just want to get out as fast as you can.
Yeah,
So you,
that's obviously out. Yeah, no matter what.
So here the difference is you're trying to attack with a weak group and I'm trying to defend the weak group using Aji. That's the difference in how we're thinking about the situation. All right. So this one, I'm not exactly sure what you're going for. I think you're trying to steal eyes or something. I just want to run away. Just get out as fast as you can without getting cut. If I can use Aji to run away faster, like maybe if I can run away faster, I might, but I don't know if that's good or not. I think just running away is basic here.
Okay, I can tell you what I was thinking, and you can correct me. My thinking is that H17 and H14 are connected, and
Okay.
And when I'm normally, so H14 is not a weak stone. So
Okay.
I would normally, I kind of would like to play at H12.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like it was quite enough pressure on him, so I was considering either G14 or G13.
But so you said that pressure word. Pressuring your opponent is attacking.
Well, yeah, but if I no matter what I do, if I can get out to A, in this case, or even if I go to, well, if I go to G13, it's absolute. I don't know for sure that G14 is a good move. But I know he can't cut.
Oh no, he can't cut. So using the logic of the Classy approach, I want to play defense because I don't have a base. What is after a base? I want to run away. I want to escape this line of influence that my opponent has. So my strategies would be run away as far as and as fast as I can. Does this help me run away? I don't think it does. Does it make your opponent respond? Yes, but not all Sentei moves are good. So I think A is actually not a bad move. I think this one is a little bit less forcing moves for your opponent. But yeah, this is the right idea. I think this one's the right idea. It's stay connected. It's just your opponent can do that. And it's stay connected, and then maybe you just make life, or maybe you run away. I don't know. Just something defense. Something that tries to escape and make eyes. So this, to me, I'm not a fan of, simply because it doesn't follow that logic. Alright, so he plays 3-3. I would choose a Sentei variation to get back to my weak group. Because whenever they Tanuki and do something like this, your weak group still exists, your B group exists. So I would want a Sentei variation so I could go deal with the urgent thing. Which weak groups are urgent. Okay, so this is, I think, a Gote variation. So locally, this is good. Globally, I think Sentei is more important. That one, I think, doesn't matter. It's not Sentei. So just run away. Right here, here, and here. If he does this, you can't exactly die. There's no that. And plus there's a cutting point, so you're absolutely alive. So it's just points. It's just Yosei. So it's not Sentei.
Was that wrong? Play
The-
B16?
Yes, it's wrong because you're not gonna die, so you need to go do something else.
Okay, okay, gotcha.
Locally, all it is Yosei. If you're not gonna die, then it's just points, and then you have to think, okay, is it a large framework? No, then it has to be Yosei. So what you're doing right now is Yosei. If you really wanted to defend, I would defend this one and try to get Sentei.
Okay.
So I don't like that you
Yeah,
lost Sentei there.
Yeah, I had dreams of some sort of cut at C14, but it just doesn't.
So you're trying to attack
going
again.
anywhere.
Even if you could
Yeah.
cut at C14, it's not big because he has a base over here, pretty more or less has a base over here. So it's just points. However, it would be big if it got your base. However, but it doesn't. It just doesn't work. So it's kind of like bad thinking.
Yeah.
Like so, the big thing that I disagree with your strategy over here is you keep trying to attack B with A, and I fundamentally I disagree with it. I think you should use B to defend A faster, or just defend A. I don't think we should be attacking at all. So that's what I disagree with. So choosing Joseki, direction of play should be the right side, not the bottom. The right side is a lot more interesting to develop. So I want to see like a 1 space or a 2. It's just a low or a high pincer. Maybe a high just because you want to support your A group. But I want to see a pincer here. Because I think the right side is much more interesting than the bottom. This move's strange. We just destroyed the right side by forcing white to make a base over there. So if we wanted the bottom, we should be developing the bottom, like here or here.
Oh, and I guess my upper right is plenty secure. Okay.
Yes, that shape is absolutely alive. It's absolutely alive. Also, if you wanted a base, bases are on the 3rd line. There's not really a base on the 4th line. So it is a knight's move, so immediately I want to check the cut. And you do control this area, but you do not control that area. So that's the question. However, I don't like this move. If we're going to play here, just play here. If you're going to push the knight, then cut the knight. If you're not going to cut, then don't push it. And also, why are we here? Are we playing a big move? Big move is like here. Urgent is the weak group. Largest framework is probably the bottom.
That create an urgent move for him? Don't, if I play there?
Here? No. I can ignore. Is the A stone a group? And our group definition is it a cutting stone? And does it represent an area?
So it is a cutting stone.
What's it cutting? What is the A stone cutting? Black is alive here, and black is alive here. And actually, C has nothing to do with A. But the B stones are connected. So the A stone's not cutting B in any way. So if you do that, and I do that, you do that, and then I just go reduce, you don't really have anything. Now, arguably, maybe I just respond, and then if you fix, then I can still do the exact same thing. But I don't have to respond to this.
Okay.
Alright, so this is build while reducing, but I think you have the bigger area, so white should go in. Okay, white defended. Don't push knight's move if you're not going to cut. It's the same thing. Don't make your opponent stronger. If you're going to push, but don't push through the knight unless you're going to cut, and this cut doesn't work, so just don't do it.
Okay.
Just maybe here.
Yeah, that actually looks better on the bottom.
I don't understand this move.
Well, I wasn't positive that I was absolutely safe.
I think you're absolutely not safe. So, if we want to play defense here, I think we're at step 2. Because we can't make a base. So I think we're at step 2, which is run away. That's the defense that I want to play, is run away. This looks like step 3.
An absolute base.
No, this is not a base. A base is efficient eye space. This is not efficient. This is very
Okay,
small.
so it's not, I, okay. I thought it was very efficient because I basically secured with one more stone no matter what, then it is completely alive.
Yeah, that's
And,
eye space, which is
and
step
it
3.
also has prevented him from making more than like 6 points, 10 points on the top. And, um, oh, and it gives me a jumping point to go off down to toward the bottom, and even I could even go to D8
Yeah.
or
When you're thinking of
not
efficiency,
D8.
think of how much do you get with how many moves.
This cost quite
No,
by
not white, just black.
the whole sequence. Okay. Um, well, I gain only
2, right? And so when we think of a base, we think like 2 stones jumps 3. Now, white spent 3 moves and got like 6, maybe 7, right? 3 for 6. But you spent a lot of moves for only 2. So that's not efficient. So that means it's step 3 eye space. Okay. We can go 4th line here because we can go 4th line when we have support on both sides. We go 3rd line when we don't have support on both sides.
okay.
Probably you can also go here because this is a better relationship. And yeah, you have an invasion point, but this invasion point you have thickness to attack with. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, these pushing moves, don't push. They're bad. It just helps your opponent. Don't push these until endgame. This is unnecessary. You can go build. He can reduce it, but he cannot cut you.
Okay. I feel like this is part of my problem is I need to do something like that one that you just did. So
Yeah, if you need to play on the largest framework. If it's yours, build it up. If it's your opponent's, push it down or invade it.
okay, I was really afraid of him playing that R14.
Okay.
That's
He
why I played.
let's say
that.
let's say I do something over here, right? And he plays R14. Okay. First off, defense, stay connected. Let's say he connects. Boom, boom, boom. Whatever. Did you lose your
And then
base?
I underestimated the security of that
Yeah.
top right corner, actually, I think.
Yeah, that's alive. So you're not dying, so it's just points. And then you have to ask, okay, is this points worth these points? And the answer is no. So that's why you don't have to play it. Also, if you were going to play it, you block. Don't just
Okay.
seal because I can slide. This is just better. It just
Okay.
goes nowhere. All right, so here he has a reduction. So you just defend. I think you have to turn this into Dame because you have a weak group at A still, and then we have to think about the B area. So what's going to happen? So how do reductions work? Usually reduction is I limit what you gain for thickness, and then once I have that thickness, I gain something of equal or greater value. Like maybe I just attack. So white limits black's potential for this area, and then also gets this area for it. So they cancel each other out, and that is why reductions are pretty powerful, because usually while you limit potential, you're also building potential. So in this case, it's better to attack here and maybe get control of the center, because it looks like you get points here, but actually this is 0 value if white also gets that amount of points. So it'd be better to start a fight for control of this area. And then if you get control of this area, you can come back and block. But if you don't, but if you even if you don't come back and block, you getting control of that area might also get you more value. And then white's too busy defending to get value, so you'll make a positive exchange rate.
Okay.
Did you follow that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Okay, this is good. I like that. This is, yeah, you're spending too many moves over here. You need to be fighting. So what I don't like here is you made the judgment to leave this group. So I disagree with that decision. I think it's a weak group. But you, in your mind, said this is not a weak group. I'm gonna go play something else. But then at random times for the rest of the game, twice now you have come back and played on it when nothing locally has changed. So that means you're actually not convinced it's alive. It's strong. So if you aren't convinced it's strong, then why did you leave it in the first place?
Because he can't play against it at that.
Well, then
moment
why are
in
you
time.
responding now? Like the point is, why are you not having consistent thinking?
Okay, this seems to be like a Tanuki situation where I could play there if I want.
Yes, but if you make the judgment that white can't do anything to you, then why are you playing there?
Well, I'm probably wrong, but I feel like if I make that completely secure, then I can go to D7 and D9 and take over that area of the F or E7 area, and get control of that section there, and he's pushed down to the left and has nothing in the.
Okay, so what is preventing you from going wherever you're wanting to go over here with the A group? The critical point that I'm trying to get across is, if you think it's strong, then why are you defending? And if you think it's not strong, why did you leave it in the first place? Does that make sense?
I just didn't think it was strong enough for me to attack from a strong group, basically. So my feeling is that I can't go to C8 right now.
But that's the very definition of weakness of a weak group. It means you can't do what you want in that area. In other words, you can't invade or reduce from strength. You can't attack with strength. You can't do anything because you don't have strength in that area, which means when this area becomes relevant, white will have control of it because you are not strong. That is when we're not strong, it means we need to play defense. That's why we play defense, is that way when this area becomes relevant again, we can do what we want. We can invade, we can attack, we can do whatever because we're using strength. So
it made it relevant, though.
Well, it's not about it being relevant right now. It's about it will be relevant later. So we defend it way back when, so that way when this area became relevant, then we can play there without having to defend ourselves. So it's the idea of, I don't want to leave weak groups. I want to leave strong groups. So that way when I come back to that area, I have control of it, or I can do whatever I want. But if I leave weakness everywhere, then eventually that area is going to become relevant and I can't do anything in that area, and white's going to get control of it, and white will make a positive exchange rate. So defense isn't about making a lot of value. It's about preventing negative exchange rates in the future. So
isn't that the definition of Aji? I mean, basically you leave Aji there. I left Aji there. For him, if he wanted to play in there, then anything he played in there would be to my advantage.
Aji is potential, so you can force a simple exchange, but it's not a sequence that you can force. So for example, if we play right here and white plays right here, is this 1-2 exchange and then done, or do you have to keep responding?
I think white would have to probably respond to E8, but yeah,
it's the idea of what's the difference between a group and Aji. What's the difference between a weak group and weak Aji? So Aji is not exactly something that is huge. For example, this is Aji, but who cares? The 5 is gonna die. But I mean, it's Sente, it's forcing, but it doesn't mean that white is a weak group, because black can't just chase this weak group. Well, I can't just make a positive exchange rate in this area. Now,
You can only do that something like if you've got a co or something.
yeah, exactly. So that's the difference between AJI and a weak group. So the idea that I'm trying to get across is I think A is weak and you should defend it earlier. But you disagree and you said A is not a weak group. I don't have to defend it. I'm like, okay, I disagree with that statement, but I want to see consistency at the bare minimum. But you came back and defended it, which doesn't make sense if you said I don't have to, because there was a juicy attack right here. Why would we go defend when we can attack when you said that wasn't worth defending? Do you understand the inconsistency in the thought?
I guess not really. I feel that at that point it became weakened because he's strengthened his position enough, and now that is a weak group up there that I have to defend. So that
I agree that I agree that it's a weak group. I just think it was a weak group way back here as well. I think it's always been a weak group. The reason is because anything that white does in this area or this area is going to be kind of attacking you. Which means you can't play big moves in those two areas because you will get attacked from a distance if you do. So because you can't play big moves, it's better just to play defense. So that way, when those big moves come up, you can play them without worrying about getting attacked. That is my view on that. If that makes sense.
Okay.
So I agree that it is weak, but I think you should have defended it sooner, so that way when this bottom side happens, you can continue with your attack. You don't have to go back and defend and lose your initiative that you just developed because your group became too dangerous. That is why I like leaving strong groups, not weak groups. So the idea behind this style is leaving strength so you can do whatever you want with the basics. However, if you're going to say that I'm going to leave a weak group, it's not that it's an impossible strategy. It's just, how do you determine at a Q level without being like 7-Don, without being able to calculate and read everything and count the difference? How do you determine when A is worth defending versus when it's not? How are you making that decision? Like, what rule sets or basics or judgment are you using to make the decision of when A is weakened versus when it's not? It's actually very complex to say that A is not weak now.
Asking?
It's more of a rhetorical question.
Rhetorical question. Okay.
So you make it saying is A weak now versus is A weak later, and then reading at what point does your opponent's forcing moves become relevant? That is a very hard decision. So the Clausy approach teaches us the basics to get us to 1-Don. The Clausy approach teaches us decisions that are right 80% of the time. So maybe your judgment might be right, like maybe leaving a weak group is right 20% of the time, but if you leave the weak group every single time, that means you're wrong 80% of the time. Instead of defending the weak group and being right 80% of the time, and then as you get stronger, learning the exceptions. Does that make sense?
Let me ask you one question then.
Mm-hmm.
If my determination has a lot to do with his weak groups. So I'm looking at his weak groups and I'm saying his weak groups are weaker than mine.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I'm doing is saying, okay, that's an opportunity for me to do something more than just randomly protect my weak group. His weakness is greater than my weakness, so it's
okay. Let me clarify: are the weaknesses on the same section of the board, or are they completely different areas?
You're asking. Okay, I didn't hear it as a question. Go ahead.
So the question is, I'm trying to clarify your example. Both you and your opponent have a weak group. Are those weak groups close to each other in the same section of the board, or are they completely irrelevant of each other on different sections of the board?
I don't care if it's across the board or local.
Okay, so how I would personally handle it is if my group is weak and their group is weak in the same section of the board, I would use their weak group to defend myself in Sente to make a neutral exchange rate in Sente and then go play a big move. That way, I'm strong and I won't get attacked later and make a negative exchange rate, and I did it for free using their weak group.
Now, he doesn't have a weak group in that area, right?
Right now, no, but I was trying to clarify your example. You asked me how I would think about it. Okay, now let's change the situation. Now let's say I have a weak group on one section, he has a weak group on another section, and they're irrelevant of each other. So you're saying that white is technically weaker according to your judgment. According to that logic, you are supposed to attack your opponent first. However, how do you prove with reading and counting and judgment? How do you prove that that group is weaker than yours? That the profit that you will gain from attacking his will be greater than the profit he will gain from attacking you if we don't even know how reading works yet? How do we prove that at an 8Q or 7Q level?
Well, you're basically telling that I don't have the skill to be able to determine that.
Well,
possibly.
Because I don't even really teach how to count exchange rates until like 3Q, 2Q. I think there's other more important things to learn. But I also want to answer your question to the best of my knowledge. So that way, I'm not saying your question is invalid. Your question's absolutely valid. It's just a question we should be asking at 3Q and 2Q. Because more times than not, defense is easier for a win percentage than offense before defense. Now, with that being said, the AI puts offense before defense, but the AI can read perfectly, and we cannot. So with imperfect reading, what has the higher chance to win the game? Not dying. That is my argument. That is my perspective. That's why I teach defense before offense. So yes, you can make the argument that attacking might be bigger than defending. However, how do you do that with our imperfect reading at a Q level? Like, we can't even read until like 5 dawn. And even at 5 dawn, you can't really read. It's actually at 7 dawn. Because there's 2 types of 5 dawn according to Ensong and other teachers that I've talked to. Right. There's the basics 5 dawn, and there's the reading 5 dawn. I'm trying to help you get to the basics 5 dawn, or the basics 1 dawn, because I can't really get you to 5 dawn, but I'm trying to get you to the basics 1 dawn. But there is the other side of that, of the reading dawn. But to get to 7 dawn, you need both. So arguably, with that statement, you can actually get to 5 dawn without even being able to read properly. Just reading a couple things, just a little bit of reading. But you can't even read properly until 5 dawn, according to people stronger than me who have said that. So why are we trying to attack before defense when attacking before defense is only possible with very accurate reading? That is like the in-depth answer to that question, and why I say defense before offense, because I think it is more reliable with our imperfect reading at this level. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what I'm trying to do is I'm also trying to balance. I'm trying to not be the player that looks only at my own weakness and plays to
absolutely.
That. I want to play equally.
I want to clarify. I want to clarify. Just defense is fine up until 9Q, but now you have to think about your opponent's weakness at the same time. However, that doesn't mean you choose an offense over defense. It means how can you defend yourself more effectively using their weakness. That is single-digit Q thinking. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So remember my first example, I said if both the weak groups are in the same location, I'm not going to just play offense. I want to play defense in Sente and go play a big move. I want to survive in Sente using their weakness. So it's not that I won't use the weakness, because that's double-digit Q. One single-purpose moves is double-digit Q. But it's single-digit Q, we need to see both our opponent's weakness and our weakness at the same time. It's just, can we do our job better, which our job is defense first. Can we do that better using our opponent's weakness? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that is kind of like the whole like logical argument that I'm trying to that defines the Colossi approach. So you are not wrong. I just think that there's another method that's more reliable at this level. Does that, in my opinion, okay? I want to clarify that this is my opinion. Does that make sense?
Right.
So with
Because
that,
I'm looking, I see at least three things that I can do directly that would profit me, and with that move D12. There's at least three. So,
okay.
So I feel like I'm very flexible in this position, and he can't do anything against me there. So
I feel like I could play right here, and you have nowhere to, like, you're going to be running for the next 20 moves. Because if I look at white's thickness, white's line here, and white's line here, there's an opening right here, so black's going to try to go that way. So as long as I wrap around this way, I can make profit, or I can switch directions and wrap around this way and let you out that way and make this area profit. So I think, according to theory, I can't read all that, of course, not at AQ. I can't read all that. But if I unsettle, then I can chase. And according to theory, chasing something will be a positive exchange rate. So I think black is a weak group. But it's okay to disagree.
I somehow thought that he couldn't do one. I forget why.
Okay. So it's okay to disagree, but it's also important to understand multiple perspectives. So if this is why it's good to have multiple teachers, because maybe one makes sense while the other one doesn't, and then on the different day it's vice versa. But at the same time, you also need to make sure that you're willing to think about other perspectives besides just one, that we can learn in various ways. So I kind of disagree with your perspective, but that's also my opinion. Now, if I was to ask someone, if I was maybe lacking something that you have that I don't, then maybe I need other teachers to tell me that, right? So it's not exactly that I'm saying you're wrong. I'm saying, as with the information that I have, I would disagree. So I want to clarify that this is just my opinion. It's just I want you to understand my opinion so that way you can add it to your own and make your own judgments. That's the idea. Okay, so I do actually think you got a lot of value right here. So I think you should be helping A, right? And what just happened, these exchange rates, you just got a bunch of stones to help your weak group, and white got no profit for it. So I think that was all a good exchange rate for you. Okay, so as white, I think white should choose to fight, because white controls this area, not black. So I think white should be choosing to start trouble. Okay, but
if white did play one, could I have clamped, or that's the wrong term.
Here, wedge.
But I played wedge.
Okay.
But I have wedge. It seems like I could come out with
not quite
head that way.
Not quite. It's good to consider. Like, of course you want to consider it. If I was white, I would definitely look at this before I do it. I would also try to maybe, and if it did work, then maybe I'd change the move to here or here. Like, the point is, you have to move while reading, of course. That's hangma. That's movement. Oh. But as white, I don't want to play passive. I don't want to play defense when I'm the attacker here.
Right.
Because who controls the area? I think white does. I think black has two weak groups. So why would I play defense? I should be playing offense here. Whereas from black's perspective, white controls the area. I should not be playing offense. I should be playing defense.
Okay.
So, okay, we are running a little bit low on time, so let me make some conclusions from this. So again, from the lessons, all I'm trying to do is just show you my perspective, and you can take from it what you will, to help your own improvement. So my perspective in this game was, you tanuki'd the weak group too much. Also, if you tanuki the group because you say it is strong, then you should not be coming back to it later unless something local has changed. If you do, then maybe it was, after all, a weak group. Because that has to do with consistent thinking. Your follow-ups should be consistent with your judgment. Okay? Run is more valuable than iSpace. A base is efficient. iSpace. Efficiency means how much did we get for how many moves. Basically, for how much did we get for how many moves? That's efficiency. And then those are the big points, and then a few little points like understanding that this is Yosei, understanding that this is a very solid iSpace in the corner, and then understanding the difference between just blocking your reduction versus attacking the reduction. You need to understand, will your opponent get influence that will cancel out your points? If so, then just attack. If not, then block. All right. So do those points make sense?
Yes.
Okay. With that, do you have any questions about anything I talked about in this lesson?
No, I got it.
All right. And
it's all helpful.
all right. Well, hopefully you found that helpful. Hopefully, congrats on 7Q. You're doing something good, so because you got 7Q, and hopefully that will just help you improve your game and understand your game just a little bit more. And yeah, and as always, if you have questions, just let me know, and I will see you when I see you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.
Bye.
All right, and that concludes the lesson portion of the stream. So let's go ahead and close all this. I actually forgot to add to the student sheet of Buzzsaw's last lesson, or the lesson before last, I forget. Because I think did we play a teaching game, Buzzsaw? Is that what we did? So we had a lesson on the 25th, and I didn't mark that. 8/25/2021. I think we had a teaching game, because I think you took a break. 2 of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna put teaching game in my notes because that's why I don't have notes. I don't take notes for teaching games. I'm more just give you things to work. I just give you practice. Okay. Ooh. I get a vaccine tomorrow. I have to get the second shot tomorrow. So that should be fun. Okay. All right, that's all good. Alrighty. No more headphones. So how has everyone been? Hopefully everyone was able to figure out the Discord. All right. All right, so we're going to do next. Druchi is up. And go ahead and open this one over here. So Druch will be up first. Nice, Philo. Glad it's been helpful. All right. Were you guys able to take a look at the website? I am seeking feedback on the website. Is it good? Is it viewable? Is it clean? isn't and also I did get permission to use it as the OGS banner. So if you guys clicked the OGS banner and started watching the stream from that, was it smooth? Was it easy? Not too noisy or spammy? Hopefully it all looked good. All right, we do have a review for white. All right. All right, and yeah, I did get the stream working. I cropped YouTube a lot more. I made the players smaller, made the go board a little bit smaller, and just moved things around a bit. So hopefully the stream looks good today as well. I got the schedule. I made room for the schedule, which is really nice. All right, reviewing for white at a 5Q level. Ooh, what is that? Micro Chinese? Yeah. Off by one. No, because this is the mini Chinese, right? And this would be so that makes this the micro Chinese, I believe. Because I think that's the mini Chinese. Micro Chinese. I think. I don't play it a lot, but I'm pretty sure that's the logic. Yeah. I'm like, this is my first instinct. My opponent didn't defend. I take the base, right? My first instinct is to attack this. Attaching makes your opponent stronger, so I actually don't agree with the attach when your opponent ignored. Thank you for the follow. Adamas. Hello, Mortimer. Yeah, I think you're like one stone difference, not Joseki then. Yeah, this is just making your. This is like pretending this is Joseki, but it's not. What's the follow-up to 010? Oh, 017. It's tricky. It really depends on what black does. I would say the simple one that's probably old-fashioned nowadays would be here, 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 here. That would be simple, but maybe it's dated, so maybe it wouldn't happen anymore. But this is what would used to happen. Then here, and then you take Sente. Maybe here. So yeah, I think the modern play is actually to attach on the other one. Like before, it was attach on the side that you wanted that works with your stone. But I think AI said this one might be better. So I don't know. Like, I legit need to update stuff. Like I haven't watched a Youngusing lecture about it yet. I was watching Common Mistakes earlier during lunch. Oh, what was the? I think it was the common mistake of. No, well, I don't. Well, I guess it's fine. It's just one thing. It was the common mistake of white playing here. That's what I got from this morning. That's what I watched this morning. That's not good. You're supposed to go here. But yeah, that's kind of actually very similar mindset. This is a really bad mindset, okay? If one stone is different, it's not the same thing. So this is Joseki, but one stone different does not mean you do the same thing. It's completely new. It's completely unique. Now you need to go back to basics. What do the basics tell you? Make a base or attack, right? Or something like that. Maybe jump into the 3-3. So that it's completely different. It's the same principle though. It's the same reason that mistake happens. Is people try to make it something they know, but it's completely different. General question. I started to play AI on an 11 by 11 board. Is that a good idea? What's your level? 11 by 11 is very strange. 9Q? If I wanted to learn how to fight, I would just play AI with handicap on the 19 by 19. Actually, I did that a while back. I had my wife use the laptop and I took handicap and I played on a real board because I love playing on a real board, okay? And so my wife played out the AI moves for me and she got to kick my butt. She was very excited to be able to beat me. And I took like 5 stones and I just lost. But that's what I did. That's how I would work on fighting. Is I would handicap like maybe like 1 or 2 stones lower than what you need to win, and try to understand how it attacks you, and then try to understand like how does it punish your bad shape, and then see if you can do that to your level, right? Take like well 9K you're gonna need 9 stones, I guess, regardless. But try to like yeah, I don't know. I think handicap on 19 by 19 would be better than 11 by 11. Usually small boards you're learning about some local shapes like third line cuts, second line cuts. But at single digit Q we should know those by now technically. So attach at Q14 then Hane Nobi 3-3. Okay, so this is an actual position. So Hane, Nobi, 3-3. Yeah, I agree with this. But I think the reason this was not played before, well, I kind of know this. The reason this wasn't played before is because to be consistent with this stone, you'd have to block on this side. But this creates an empty triangle, which is bad shape. And then also you have another empty triangle right there. So it feels really bad shape. But I think the AI says this is okay. So if it blocks this way, this used to be, this may be different. This used to be inconsistent, like inconsistency, right? Here, or here. Because this stone doesn't make sense if you're going this direction, right? So that's the old stuff. That's the old stuff. I don't know the AI keeps change. Every variation has to be restudied. So I spent years learning variations, and then I'll learn like 2 or 3 new variations a year, maybe a little bit more than that, I guess. I'll learn a few more variations each year, but the AI is like, no. Now you have to revisit every variation you thought you knew, and redo it all. So the AI kind of changed everything, which is a little bit annoying. I don't like this. Get 4th line territory, leave the Aji. I'm actually happy I started before AI, simply because you got to see like history in the making. I really just want to defend. Well, I don't like helping black get so much territory. Watching that match unfold was pretty epic. See, I'm of the opinion that AI is good, and here's why. Westerners could not compete with Asians because we just don't have the proper environment. Asians get to talk with a 9-dan pro every single day, 5 days a week, right? Americans don't. You get like 1 hour a week with pro lessons. What we desperately needed was some stronger high-level advice on a consistent basis. So the AI, I think, will drastically improve Western play. The internet and AI, I think, will drastically help us catch up with Asia over the next 100 years. So for the overall Go strength, I think it's a very good thing. For culture, maybe it's very bad. Because now it's no longer a beautiful game. It's more like a powerhouse game, right? It's kind of like changing the feel of the game, even. And then it's like, oh, humans are not the best at it anymore. It's not this epic sage thing anymore. Yeah, it's no longer sacred. The computers have outdone us. So there's that. The culture wise and that there's that argument. But technically, for skill wise, I think it's good. Um, coming, speaking as a teacher, AI hasn't. It hurt teachers in Asia for sure, but in America, like, you don't understand how hard it is to be a teacher and Go, regardless of AI. So, yeah, AI actually, I think the future of AI is going to be like the chess master and stuff, where they could actually explain why, and I think that's going to be really cool. Um, I really don't like your shape here. I don't think you're defending your cutting points. Until the AI can explain why really well, I really just don't see it replacing teachers. So you actually helped Black defend their cuts, and then you didn't defend yours. So I really dislike this variation. I hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Hey, you played a bamboo joint, and your follow ups are good. I just think the overall situation's bad. Um, what do you do? You're dead if there's no cut. But like you're not seeing the cut, so like this exists. So you have to do like that, and then like if Black can activate your cutting points, I think you're in a lot of trouble. Ah, everything's just bad for White. Like how do you win from here? Oh man. So you're gonna spend the next 30 moves playing defense basically, and trying to play catch up. Defense. Oh, he ignored a weak group. That's extraordinarily helpful. All right. So I just mentioned it in the lesson. We have White has a weak group, Black has a weak group. What is my opinion for how to use the Klossy approach when both players have a weak group? Yep. Double digit Q, fix your stuff first. Single digit Q, use their crap to fix yourself in Sente. So here, it's very strong. Here might work, but you have to take into account this cut. But I think he might be too weak to do it. And if he is, then you can do that. And then that. But at least here. Cry. You just cry. So you played here. This is attacking before defense. Yes, exactly, Mortimer. Why is no one playing defense? We're 5Q. Why are we not playing defense? Is it just we're too good for defense at 5Q? No. No. Boom, right here. You're gonna keep going? Boom. Alright, boom. Alright, boom. You're gonna have to defend eventually, and if you keep going, you're gonna have to defend eventually. Or you're gonna give me, like, the entire, like, 75% of the board otherwise. You have to defend. I don't know why everyone thinks defense is slow. I highly disagree with this thought. This is so painful for black. It's like so good for black, and then he tanukis, and then it's so bad for black, and then white tanukis, and then it's so good for black. If I had a graph like the AI did, I would doot 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 doot. Double peep. Double peep. I'm actually curious about the graph. Okay, Black's up by 3, black's up by 0.8. Even. White's up by 1.2. That's surprising. Black's up by 3. Black's up by even. Black's up by 2. Even. White's up by 1. White's up by even. I don't know. AI can read better than I can. I think black's I think if black had defended this, black would be way up. Because that top side's really big. But okay. Whatever. There's a double peep here. Feels kind of important. Oh, hey. There we go. Ooh, fancy. Fancy. Okay. It's still wrong. It's still wrong. Cut. Poke. Fix. There. Fix. There. Black might live. But you get, like, all of these. You get, like, this is bigger than the corner. This is much bigger than the corner. Okay. Defense first is fine. If you want to do that, you should go here, though. And then here. That's the better variation. He can Atari, but he still has to fix. Basically when they defend with tiger's mouths like this, the moves you consider is straight block, can I cut, and the pushes of the diagonal. These are the moves to consider. I mean, not really. It makes these two stones weak, but I don't think there's an eye there anyway. It's like, okay, I mean, there's never going to be a cut, so those two stones don't bother me, but okay. Yep, streaming to YouTube and to Twitch. Thus the new account. Why are we not defending the weight group? Defend the weight group! What? What? That's cool. Does it work? That doesn't work. That does not work. That was cool. Too cool for school, unfortunately. It's kind of like on the shelf at the moment, so you don't need to unfollow. Like, you don't have to unfollow. If you're a subscriber though, then you still get your sub benefits through Discord. Instead of joining through Twitch chat, you join through Discord as a subscriber to Colossus. So you still get your benefits, if that's what you're worried about. Like you can, if you're a subscriber on Colossus, you can still join the game reviews. And also the Colossi points from Colossus are transferable. Speaking of, I actually opened up Colossi points using Streamlabs. So I think everyone in Twitch and YouTube should have access to these points. I think the command is Colossi points. Or just points. I don't know. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if the commands work in YouTube chat because YouTube chat's stupid. But I think YouTube viewers... Well, crap. If it doesn't work in the chat, how do you use it? I don't know. Fudge. Fudge. If you guys want to use it from YouTube, just tell me and I will let you use it. But the points allow you to do the shop on the website. Yeah, so let's see. So let's go to... let's just open a new tab. Clausius.live. I love my website, by the way. I got my own URL now, Clausius.live. It makes me so happy. Okay, so scroll down. Oh, there we go. So the current is Metal Ping. So this is the leaderboard. I have no idea who those are. I don't think they've been talking in chat. But you can see the leaderboard. Buzzsaw is 12. Oh, I know why. I'm sorry, guys. All of you who have been watching me this week, but... So, followers get 1,000 points for hitting the follow button on Twitch. That is why Buzzsaw is not in first. Buzzsaw would be in first if it wasn't for the follow. Mortarbeer, I'm going to let those transfer. If you have 20,000, I think I'm going to give you like half of the value because Classy points on here are worth less than the Twitch points. So if you have 20,000, I was going to let you get like 10,000 of those. So that's that. The way it works is you get 3 points every 5 minutes. And then an additional 2 points if you're active in chat in those 5 minutes. So you can get, if you're active in chat, you get 1 point a minute. And then, of course, donations are donations are worth 1,000 points for every $1 donated. And then you can get a game review, lesson, the sound effects, which I'm thinking I'm going to add more sound effects. Let me add points. Flossy Sensei, 1,000. All right. I don't have enough points. Bull crap. Refresh the page. I need to make sure this works. There we go, 1,055. And mods, if you give yourself points, I will take away all your points and take away your mod privileges. So don't give yourself points.
Oh, yeah.
So I do plan to add more sounds for funsies. But the reason I'm using Streamlabs this way is because I cannot give points for donations through Twitch, but I can through Streamlabs. The reason this is important is because I had people that were donating to chat, or to me, and I want to be able to give them Classy points for those donations, should they so choose to. And then I opened up bigger tiers for Classy points. So, for example, I know there was some people, I'm not going to say who, but some people donated like $100 at a time. Well, now they can get points for that, and that can do giveaways for chat of 5 lessons. I'm also doing supporter role giveaways. So if you get to 5,000 points, I can do a random giveaway, or this is like a $5 donation basically. I can do a giveaway to random people watching in the communities on YouTube and Twitch, and I'll do the giveaway via Discord using a keyword or something, and then they'll get the supporter role for a month so they can join the game reviews, etc., etc. So that way, the people who do donate to support what I do can also donate to the community without any extra work. So that way, you know, I can reward people for donations, and then they can use those rewards to support chat, basically. And that's kind of my idea with these. Thus, the reason we're using Streamlabs to manage the points instead of Twitch, simply because I can reward donators and hopefully make it more interactive for everyone. And then, of course, sound effects for like $1 are gonna be good. I'm scared to see what will happen, but yeah. Yeah. All right. So what I will do this one time only, because a lot of people didn't get the benefits, what I will do this one time only. Everyone watching in Twitch will get 1,000 points. Because you all, all you guys are followers. Okay, this one time only. There you go. Have fun. Nah, don't spam the oh yeah. I think it's on cooldown. It's on cooldown for 1 hour and 36 minutes. There we go. That way you can't spam it. Because every single one of you using the oh yeah would be bad. So I have a cooldown for 1 hour. I think you guys have like 5-minute cooldown or something like that. But yeah, hopefully this will make it. Oh, down here at the bottom of the page, you can get access to all your commands. So you can actually gamble with your points to try to get more points. You can do 8-ball, you can do gamble. You can also duel people. You can duel each other for points. So I'll go ahead and like duel Buzzsaw for 1 point. Fine. Duel Buzzsaw for 100 points. Or 10 points. It's just a randomized chat game. And then Buzzsaw, you can exclamation mark accept. Oh yeah, sorry. Duel at Buzzsaw agent blah 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 for 10. How do I do it? Duel 10 Buzzsaw blah blah blah. It doesn't work. No, I want a challenge. I want people to have fun with this. Let me check. Commands. Default. Duel. Allow everyone, the permissions for everyone. Fine. Duel Buzzsaw underscore AGA ID 8 10. Oh my gosh. Canceled. Duel Buzzsaw. I think I could do the @ I think I had a duel Buzzsaw blah 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 10. Okay, I'll try it without the @ I'm sorry. Cancel. Wait, how did you do it? How did you do it? Hold on, hold on. I want to duel somebody. a ball. How do I duel? I hate you, Glossy Bot. Okay, accept. Why did you bet 1,000? Hold on. Advanced. Oh, user cooldown 60 seconds. I'll do user cooldown like 20 seconds. Confirm. Accept. Yeah, it is random. It's just randomized. It's for fun. Okay. What? What? What just happened? Okay. Basically the right side of the board is what I want. What is what I would take from this game. Use the weight group to defend yourself. Watch your cutting points. Okay. Da, 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 da. Next. Mac Daddy. Give me a link. I banned myself from using the analysis tool on your advice and immediately came across one of these no basic confusion lords. Turns out I can't read past 3 or 4 moves. Yeah, yeah. No, most people can't. Most people can't. If you can read
Review
3 moves,
started.
you're like single digit Q. All right. So reviewing for white. Finally abuses cutting points at P17. No, you fixed his cutting points. Oh, dude. 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 Oh my gosh. It's questionable. You sure you want me to look at more of the game? I don't know. I don't know. Atari there. Fix. And then maybe I'll fix. Are you gonna die? So you have to survive somehow. And then I do that. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. Okay, let's look at this again. White. Thank you. Single purpose moves. Single purpose moves. What? Chinese as white. Okay, Hane, let him crawl. Or that. Just, just let him crawl. Boom, let him crawl. Boom, 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 boom. You know how good this is for white? Your name's not on the list. Ugh. Apparently. I don't know how to get Streamlabs to work with YouTube. I'm trying my darnest to get Streamlabs to like YouTube. But YouTube is literally a different chat every single new stream. I can't, like, Streamlabs has got to figure it out. I give Streamlabs access to the chat and to the stream, but Streamlabs has to, like, do an update to where they figure out how to work with YouTube. So I don't know how to get the bot on Streamlabs YouTube or on YouTube, unfortunately. I would if I could. This is okay. And then you take the base. That's okay. It's reasonable. And you surround. Reasonable. He's already unsettled, so boom. You already took the base. I don't know. I don't know why he played there. Surround. Nobi. Don't let them make Tiger's Mouths and Sentai. Yeah, he's already running though. So he already can't do one stone jumps too. So he's already running. It's already running. Yeah, you're worrying too much about poking out the eyes. That's step 3 before step 2. Okay, so this is good. Cut. Good. Okay, this is just good. Okay, go here. Defense first. If you're gonna play a Tiger's Mouth, just play a Tiger's Mouth. Okay. Solid on the inside so you can surround on the outside. Play as little inside as possible. You want to be on the outside during a fight. But if you play a Hane, then you have to play another move on the inside. Or you just, can die. Cutting points. Be careful. Okay, 4th line territory is good. I highly disagree with this. This is a very juicy double target here. So stay strong and cut. And then every move, Black will attack himself. Stay strong and cut, and then both groups will be attacking themselves. So this is just a big move. Too normal. Oh, cutting stones are worth saving! I'm sorry, Cowabunga. Cowabunga, you can still get game reviews if you're either a patron or if you join on YouTube, like the $5 tier. You just have to use Discord to join the queue, which everyone has to use Discord now. Everyone is using Discord. Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube all are using Discord. So you can still get the game review. Like the supporters can still get game reviews YouTube or Twitch. You just don't get the chat mini games. When someone does the giveaways, like the lessons, the game reviews, etc., I'm doing the giveaways in Discord, so both YouTube and Twitch will have equal opportunity. So hopefully that will help you out. Uh-oh. He played a Hane. Just because you get lots of money doesn't mean you stop getting money from the thing that's giving you money. Right? As long as it's not illegal. Like, okay, I've made enough from this free ATM that I have right here. But yeah, cutting stones are worth saving. This is fine, but the Q punishment is here, here, here. The Hane's not wrong, it's just... This is assuming they know the right answer, which is a lot to assume at this level. Here, stay solid. Boop, boop, boop. So if they save this side, this stone just dies. Okay? And if they save this side, then you Hane and wedge. And it's dead. Okay. It's okay. Don't care. Clamp, huh? We know the clamp to Suji at Tenkyu? I don't think we do. I think you just reduce. And then... That's a big center. So yeah, start doing something about that. No. What is the purpose? The purpose is to do better than this. That is the purpose of Tsuji's and Aji, right? Which means that is your aim. And if he does this, then you're going to cut and start a fight, which he might die. That is how it works. So when they do this, then you should be connecting because it's better than the basics. That's how it works. This move shows that you don't quite understand why you're clamping. That's why clamp is above this level. I need water. Oh. Yeah, so Tsujis are just ways of using Aji, right? But think about what Aji means. What is the correct way to use Aji at single digit Q? It's to do something, it's to do your job better than the basics. What is the basics? Reduce this area, right? Reduce this area is the basics. We have a Tsuji, the clamp Tsuji locally. So the idea of the Tsuji is to reduce this area by more than the way the basic variation would. But we're still reducing the area. That's the idea. So all we're doing is reducing this area. That's all we're doing. Once we understand that, we're just thinking about using Aji to do it better. So that's... If you want to attack, then you should be taking the base. But how can you attack in this area? This is an invasion, not an attack. You're weaker than black. Maybe. I think you're weaker than black by a little bit. But the idea is black should be controlling this area. So if you want to attack, you would take the base. But this is an invasion. So... Yeah, it's so I can multi-stream to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Make a base. Make a base. Oops. Oops. This is a Yosei Tsuji. If you only have 2 liberties and this is a double Atari, then and you've lost the head, you can't do this because of this reason. Yeah. Important Yosei Tsuji. Just back off once and then block. This is so unnecessary. All you had to do was reduce this area and you were fine. All you had to do is reduce the area and you're fine. Yeah, trying to attack your opponent in your opponent's area usually goes poorly. Just reduce or invade. They control that section of the board. You don't have the right to attack them there. You can go here, 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 here. It's actually a ladder. Looks like you're struggling a little bit with the local stuff. Maybe with overtime as well. So more Go problems. More Go problems. Okay, some things to take from this game. Surround your opponent. Don't lose the cutting stones. Go problems. And understanding the goal and how to use the Tsuji to accomplish that goal. Here, black controlled this area. You shouldn't have tried to attack. You should have tried to reduce or invade using the Aji. Yeah, but that's how do you do Go problems? If you Go problems, the way you do Go problems is you visualize the answer, and then you try to counter yourself, and then you try to counter that counter. Don't play out moves until you know the answer. Like the best technically the best way to do Go problems is to not have access to the answers. Theoretically. It's just we can't really do that in the West. But ideally, you'll know the answer before you play out the answer. So the way I did it in Korea is my teacher would hand me a book of problems with no answers. I'd fill out a chapter, give it back, they'd mark an X if it was wrong. If it was wrong, I had to figure out why it was wrong, and then I had to solve it. So reading, how you do Go problems can either help your reading or it'll just teach you shapes and not help your reading at all. If you just click through the answers, you learn shapes, but you don't exactly help your reading. You don't practice stone visualization and then practice countering yourself, check for counters. If you don't develop that habit, then Go problems don't help your reading as much as they could. All right, so yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. So funny enough, Sumegos actually has the wrong definition in the West. I found this out recently. Sumegos mean Go problems. Go problems do not mean only life and death. It means all the types of Go problems, all the problems. However, according to Sensei's library, it means... Okay, so this one actually is correct. A Japanese Go term adopted in English are problems mainly about life and death, but also about code, capture races, cutting connection, etc. As a rule, they are local problems, but a few involve the whole board. Okay, so this is actually correct. But someone pointed out to me recently that Sumego means life and death to Westerners. That is incorrect. Go problems are not just life and death. Glossybot's such a troll. Yeah, life and death is a majority of problems, but don't just exclusively do life and death. Don't skip life and death, but don't only do life and death. There we go. I'll post this in YouTube chat as well. Yeah, don't only do life and death. All right, who's up next? The queue is empty. Ooh, queue is empty, so Q&A. Q&A. Clamps. clamps work with a shortage of liberty. I lost your game, crap. Okay, but pretty much clamps work utilizing a cutting point and shortage of liberties. Okay? So a clamp threatens to either go under or over. In your case, it was threatening to connect under to get a reduction to the third line instead of the second line. Or it was going to cut, which caused 2 weak groups, or 2 weaknesses for black. So the clamp works due to shortage of liberties, and it usually works with either a connection or a cut. Like, it makes a mii of a connection and a cut by utilizing shortage of liberties. But if the cut doesn't matter, the clamp is bad. However, Tesujis are just skillful ways of using Aji. Okay, Tesujis are skillful ways of using Aji. Aji is meant to help you. The way to properly use Aji is to help you do your job better than the basics. So if the basics tells me just do this, like defense, offense, reductions, big moves, invasions, whatever, then Aji is ways that we can do it slightly better, but it's still the same thing. Well, in your case, it was... Oh, no. It was something like this. And then you clamped. And you were either going to connect. So the normal response, the basics, is just reduce. Just reduce. Or on the second line, we destroy some points. Good endgame. But the clamp lets us reduce, but also get to the third line. So we get even more. With the trick being, if they don't let us connect, then we activate a cut, and there's shortage of liberties on both sides. However, if this cut doesn't matter, say it's like just a ladder, or it's a net, or it just doesn't work, then this clamp doesn't work. Are pro qualifications worth it in the States? Not yet, but maybe soon. Maybe in the next 5 to 10 years. At the moment, you don't really you can't make a living as a Go player in the States, as a professional player in the States. But maybe soon. Maybe soon. His entire organization working on it. Thank you for the follow, Tando the Magnificent. Yeah, this is a second channel, so I can multi-stream to YouTube. Because with Twitch affiliate, I am not allowed to multi-stream. So I don't have a sub button on this channel, but I'm able to reach YouTube viewers. Also, we have a new website with a new point system and everything. If you're a subscriber to Clausius, all your benefits are still accessible through the Discord. You can still join the queues and everything else through Discord. Also, I'm going to let the points from Clausius be transferable to the Clausibot using Streamlabs. And then we'll have access to like a new point store that I'm working my way through. Ooh, Druchi's number 1. Oh, wait. Druchi's got 2,000. Because he got the bonus 1,000 from earlier. Yeah. And then, of course, the commands are down here. I think it looks really nice. Oh, we also have, that one, no, Klossy link. There we go. No. Come on! Oh, the first one was right. The first one was right. It just doesn't show up in Streamlabs. But the first one was right. Klossy link. Okay. So, can you see... Well, that's trippy. Let me get off that page. Yeah, you see how the Klossy link shows up on my screen? It's using better twitch.tv emotes. So if you guys use BTTV, you get access to those emotes now as well. And it'll show up on stream. I only have one emote at the moment, but I plan to add more, and this will give me access to 15 emotes. So that's fine. You're finding the Klossy Moyo strategy really difficult to apply because the middle is too easy to reduce and you end up giving them large amounts. Okay. Are you building the middle from the edge? And are you playing on the largest framework? Because if you make an edge and you build it up, they have to do something about it. If they make theirs and theirs is bigger than yours, then you shouldn't be building yours up. You should be pushing theirs down. So likely, bring me some examples. Like, hey, I tried to make influence and it just didn't work. Like, that's what we're here. We have supporter reviews. You have an example. Okay. All right. And we're just going to look at the Moyo, right? Okay, so this is Yosei. So I'm assuming we're trying to play the Moyo here, right? So first off, there's a weak group. Second off, the Moyo is in the bottom left or the right side. You are building the top side. You're actually helping white get the right side for the top side. The top side's the third biggest influence. So that's not playing on the largest framework and also not attacking your opponent. This is attacking your opponent, so that's good. Then you block and then you build. That's good. We're not done attacking though. Like, this group's not alive yet. Like, poke this group until he lives. Like, tell him, make him show you the eyes. Like, show me the eyes. Show me the eyes. But okay, you played here. I actually like this move because that builds up the center and pushes his down. But you want to Hane. And then don't be afraid to start a fight in this area. You control the area so you can fight. Yeah, there's a cut and a double Atari, but I don't care about that. I care about the largest framework. Okay, so Hane is the way to block here. He played here. Okay. Technically you should be going here. The shape to this is actually this one. This is not simple though, because it keeps your Moyo. So here, what you can do is cut, and then ladder, And if he defends, then you can get a ladder breaker. So he destroys yours, you destroy his. Or you just kill the stone. He also has a weak group now. Or you can just block Knight's move. Block. And you get some center. So, likely what it is one, you're not playing in the largest framework, and two, you're not blocking in the best ways. This one's good. That's good. That's Yosei. Are we in Yosei? Just about. Well, this is big because Black's still not alive. You're also not finishing the attack. Okay. That's a cutting point. Your opponent can't get away with cutting points in your area of control. Push, push, cut. White's in trouble. So you're not cutting your opponent in your area. So you're missing cutting points as well. So yeah, you're having trouble blocking it properly. And so I would say there's three things. One, play in the largest framework. Two, block it a little bit more efficiently. And three, cut. If they have cutting points in your Moyo, cut them. So the Moyo was fine. Like this shoulder hit was actually right here. This shoulder hit was actually really good. It controls a lot of area, but it seems you struggle with the follow-ups is the problem. Yeah, hopefully you found that helpful. Anyone else in the queue? Queue is empty. We still have one more hour of streaming, but the queue is empty. Okay. What about a teaching game with one of the supporters? Next one to join the queue gets a teaching game then. Or actually, yeah. Next one to join the queue on Discord. The teaching game. All right, Mac Daddy. All right. What was it? G_Mac? Well, I forgot your username already. I'm sorry. All right. I'm gonna challenge. I'll take white. Teaching. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a Moyo. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean about Moyo. Firing up the tablet? No worries. You do you, and I'm going to go for the center. Now, if I get the center, it will depend on the game because you're going to do your own thing too. But hopefully I'll show you like exactly what I mean by using the center.
Game started.
Alrighty. Have a good game. Okay. Okay. Gonna push. All right. Okay here. Okay, so it's Moyo versus Moyo, so let's reduce while building. His is slightly bigger, but I want to show the example, so it doesn't matter. I should technically be, like, maybe going into the Chinese or something, but it's fine. It's fine. All right, now I'm going to build up. Now, what he's worried about is that this is easy to reduce or invade, right? So he invades it. All right. So what do? Take the base. And cut him off. Okay, and I just build my Moyo. Boom. Now the key here is consistency. That's wrong. You're supposed to be on third line. So I'm going to keep building it up. Keep making it bigger. Block my Moyo. And I'm just focusing on the largest framework, which at the moment is mine. Defense, because get some eye space right there. Don't want to get cut. Okay. Now, I think half the board is high enough. I can just block. So I'm okay with that. All right, show me. Do to me what you're scared of someone doing to you. All right, so he goes in. So I'm going to block again. But now I'm not on half the board. So now you see how his line is about to get a little bit bigger than my line. Because if we look from the edge to the center, right now we're equal. But in one more move, he's going to be bigger. So once his become bigger, we shift gears. And if he doesn't make it bigger, then I just do whatever, right? I keep playing on mine until he makes his bigger. All right, so I just sealed mine. All fine. So now mine's done. Now I can go deal with his. Yep. Does P6 work for black? No. If he plays here, I block. He cuts. I just Nobi, I think. I can also Atari. But if I Nobi and he cuts, then I clamp. And I have 2 liberties on the outside. He has, like, nowhere to go. So I don't think it works. Even if it did, I would just ladder this cutting stone. And he would get in a little bit, but he wouldn't get into the Moyo. All right. So now mine's blocked. So now time to deal with his. So what do? I'm going to reduce. I'm going to stay solid and reduce. I don't really need to invade because I have a lot. So I'm just going to reduce. Boop. That is not important because I'm connected to iSpace. So I'm going to keep reducing. Largest framework. Stay on the largest framework. Okay. So the proper defense here. So I gotta watch the cutting points here. Boop, boop, boop. This is fine. Block. All right. So now I have a weak group, so defense first. So I think I could protect this in Sente. But eh. Maybe we're worried about this group too much. Maybe we don't see that. So let's just play defense. Just play defense. If you don't see this, then it's okay. Defense first. Defense first. Defense first. Okay. Push. Get some eye shape. Get some eye shape. Get some eye shape. Defense. Defense. Defend my Moyo. No big deal. No big deal. That's fine. And I'll just make Goto life. It's fine. I might could fight for Sente here, but it's not important. Just life. Just life. Just life. The point was how to deal with the Moyos. So I built mine as big as... So Black and me had the exact same, but I blocked mine better than Black blocked his. And if Black made his bigger, then I would have jumped into Black's. I think Dog's face here is the connected shape. Just stay connected while walking in here. That's the most important thing. Just don't get cut and die. Just don't die. Boop. All right, and I think we're about to start Yosei. I think we're in Yosei now. So, boop. Is that my only second and first line Yosei, really? That's annoying. Ooh. It's gonna be fancy. What's his plan? Boop. What's the plan? What's the plan? Boop. Ooh, he's going for all or nothing, I think. Stay strong. Stay strong. I feel strong, so take the eye space. Because we're at step 3, not step 2. I'm already surrounding him. I wouldn't ignore this at 9Q. I think at 5Q plus is when you would just say it's dead. But I think at 9Q you need to play it out and understand why it's dead and like actually kill it. But yeah, like at 5Q plus, maybe 3Q plus, it's just dead, so I would just leave. Like you don't have to kill something that's already dead. But it's fine. It has nothing to do with other Yosei moves or not. It has to do with if it's dead, why are you still playing on it? Like, you literally pass. If it was the end of the game, if it's already dead, why would you play on it? Just pass. You gain a point.
You have won.
Thank you for the game. All right, and I'm up by 11.5 points. So, probably with Yosei, I would have won by 20 to 25. All right, Mac Daddy, did that kind of make sense? I think the big difference is understanding the largest framework. Like, if you had gone here, now I can no longer defend. Now Black's is larger, so I have to reduce instead. Or go in, like, I'm supposed to go up here. Like, I know that. It's Chinese opening. Chinese opening is bigger than what I was doing regardless. But the point was, assuming that mine was the biggest, then I built it. Yeah, they can come in, but you just stay consistent. And here, boom, 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 boom. Just stay consistent, keep building it. Yep. So consistency is key here. Now, so playing on the largest framework is definitely the most important. But I think the second thing is also like blocking. It's entirely too relaxed for your liking. I mean, that's what the classy approach is for. Like I can get to 1 Dawn just playing the classy approach. I don't have to apply like Dawn reading or anything until Dawn. I don't have to. I can win with just the classy approach, which is play on the largest framework. The reason it works so well is because I'm consistent, and I have good shape. I watch my cutting points. So I think the first thing is you're not playing on the largest framework, and the second thing is you keep messing up. Like stuff like this, I think would cause you to fall apart. Oh, I could have 3-3'd. Huh. Like just staying strong, blah blah blah, and then your opponent does this. You're dying. So play defense. Play defense. Play defense. And then your opponent would probably try to break in, right? And then you would be so busy trying to play good shape that they would just walk in. Instead of playing the goal, which is like here, I have several variations I could play, but the simple thing is just block the Moyo. Good shape is not shape that looks good. Good shape is shape that does its job well. So if you can just give up 1 stone and block the Moyo, versus, oh, but I need to connect everything. But then your opponent just walks in your Moyo. It's better to just give up 1 stone. Right? I think how you're blocking the Moyo matters, but also make sure you're playing on the largest framework. Being able to switch gears immediately. Like, for example, I was able to switch gears to defense. I went from big moves to defense as soon as my group became weak. Here, if you had gone here, I was able to go from building to reducing in an instant because I'm keeping track of the board. I know exactly what I need to be doing. That's what you have to improve on. Yeah, efficiency is definitely key as well. But efficiency is like how well you do it. Right now, I think the bigger issue is you're not doing the right things every turn. You're not being consistently on the correct goal. If you were consistently on the correct goal, you would be like 3Q. And then it would just be efficiency to get to Dawn. So if you're struggling with Moyos, likely it's because you're struggling to block them and you're not playing on the largest Moyo. You're not being able to switch gears instantly. Constantly Classy approach. Constant classy approach. That's the key. Understanding exactly what you need to do on this turn and doing it well. That is how you get it done. Not being afraid of Moyo versus Moyo. Like, mine's just as big because I can draw a line right in the center. It's the same size. Yep. Yeah. That's cool. AI's too cool for school, man. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, he just lives with that. Who lives with that, man? That's reading, man. That is way too much for Q level. How do you just live with that Lee Sado level crap? That move's not basic. It's super cool, though. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Forcing moves. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you Sabaki your way out of it. Ugh. Ugh. It's so cool. It's so cool, but like, don't do that. Don't do that. Using Sabaki to destroy that area. Man, super cool, but way too much reading. Way too much reading. Way too much reading. All right. We got 30 more minutes. Is anyone in the queue? Queue is empty. All right. So we can do Q&As. Any questions? You know, considering your name is a buzzsaw, you think you'd be good at giving up some things. Giving up parts of it. You gotta join from the Discord. There's a story for that. Oh, man. All right. There you are. Just give me the link. Yeah, I just need to make sure that everyone knows how to use the Discord. See ya, Fallen Poet. Have a good night.
Review started.
We are reviewing for black at a 7Q level. What? What? All right. How to get a weak group in 5 moves. Oh, it's so ugly. Just Tanuki. It's almost alive. Just Tanuki. Now look what you got compared to what he got. Look at the exchange rate of points. Can't get much better than that aside from him dying. Oh, it's so slow. But you need to take Sentei. Sentei is important with offense. Like, all of it's good, but if he ignores, he cancels out, like, half of it. If you don't punish. Like, if you can't punish, like, if he dies, of course it's the Tanuki's bad, but, like, if your attack is Gote, then a big move is worth, like, half, if not all of the profit. So profits are not as big as big moves. Its profit is free, and then you get that in addition to a big move. If you want to do attack here, it'd be here. Unsettle first. Cut, of course. All right, it's done. Just leave. Ooh, loose ladder, loose ladder, loose ladder, loose ladder. Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Not quite a loose ladder, huh? Okay. So defense first. Defense first. And then go on the offensive. It looks like you still can. It's just not easy. Just give up 1 stone. He's still pretty freaking weak. Yeah, you can't let him break out. Then you just lose a lot of stuff. That's slow. Yeah, this you failed with this attack. The first attack was good, the second attack not so much. Just surround and get profit. Like even this is good. Like just now what? Right? Now what? Just surround things. Surround things, it'll work out. Yeah, you went for the kill, and you didn't have the reading to back up the kill. Why are we still here? You're dead, just move on. It's not that bad of a situation for you. Just move on. Play a big move. We don't have to fix the Aji now, or don't have to use the Aji now. Save the Aji for later. I don't think this works. I think you're getting desperate. Desperation dies. Desperation dies. You're just getting another weak group. Just go win. You already got profit. Just go win. Now you have another weak group. Yeah, you don't have to use Aji right then and there. Okay, this is way too clever. You're trying to be too clever, and it's just... You're causing more issues than you're solving. Don't be clever. Just do the job. Right? If it's dead, leave. Okay? You had a weak group, right? You have a weak group. About. Okay? Just make life. You're alive. It's done. Maybe defense. Boom, boom. You're alive. Done. Now you can go play a big move. Just finish. Just do it. Why do we have to be so clever? Because once you get clever, then you have more problems. See, now you just lost... Now it's even worse for you. And you're still not alive. And you're still trying to use the Aji here. How does this help you live? I guess this does help you live, but... Okay. So you're alive now, right? So big move. If you're alive, big move. If you're not, just live. Yeah, you're trying to do too much. Just simplify your game, and it'll be a lot more effective. This is unnecessary. That's a co-threat. Yeah, just simplify your game. You're trying to be so clever and so fast. Don't make them stronger if you're going to 3-3. Well, if it has 2 eyes, it's alive. If it can't be pushed or bullied, it's safe. But I think your issue is you keep making unnecessary weak groups. You were dominating, but you made another weak group. You're winning here. Now play defense or attack with a strong shape. Attack with this. Attack with strength. Don't attack with a bunch of cutting points. Attack with strength and solid shapes. But here, you misread. Oops, everything fell apart. Okay, guess what? Defense first. These are cutting stones, so you said you wanted to save them. Fine, save them. Run away. Defense first. Okay, save that. Okay, run away. Or they're dead. You said they're dead because you just killed them yourselves. Then leave it alone. It's dead. What's the next thing? Left and top. Maybe even bottom. Go play a big move. When this area becomes big again, that's when you can think about the Aji. Oh, thank you, Bad Portion. Here, you're trying to use the Aji immediately instead of saving it for later, and you get another weak group. So you cause yourself more problems than you solve, or than you cause your opponent. Okay. Okay, let's follow that logic. Good grief with the notifications. Go away. Let's follow that logic. You said, I am weak. You said, I am weak. Okay, I'm not dead. You thought it was still... You're playing on it because you think it's a weak group. Is this connected to your weak group? When you play defense, you stay connected. This is not connected, so it is not defense. It is sacrificing. It is forcing white to kill you. It is forcing white to surround you. That is not good defense. So if it's a weak group, play defense. If it's a dead group, why are we playing on it? Ah, that's way too optimistic. You thought he would play here, and you would play there. That's just that's bad reading. Yeah. Always check your cuts first. If you just get cut and die, that doesn't, like, it's not a false eye. Yeah. If you don't check your cutting points first. Okay. What's your excuse here then? What's your excuse there? Probably bad reading again, I think. Because you just got a weak group. Yeah. If you're not connected, you have to have good reading. If your stone is not obviously connected for defense, then your reading has to be accurate. If you mess up your reading, then the entire thing falls apart. That's why we rely on basics first and reading later. Now, of course, you need to read a little bit. You need to read cutting points. But you got to check the cutting points first. But if you play a move and it's not connected, you have to be very accurate with your reading. Otherwise, it all falls apart. All right. Queue is empty. Okay, any other Q&As? Anything else I can help you guys with? How to study or anything like that? How to study, tips, certain things you don't understand, concepts, theories? Feedback on the website and the multi-streams. Oh, shout out to my Patreon. Patreon.com/Clausius. Oh, I don't have a command for it. The thing that makes me my living, I don't have a command for. If you're interested in lessons or joining the queues for game reviews, check it out. It's how I get my support to continue doing what I do. How is it different from Twitch? It's mostly you just get all of my stuff in a much. It's more focused on my stuff instead of Twitch's stuff. That's basically it. You have my commands, my media, my points and store, merch and donations. It's just my stuff without all the Twitch stuff. So it's just a little bit more focused on myself, I guess. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool. I plan to add more sound effects with this in the future. So that way you guys can like have fun with sounds. Then there's the game reviews and stuff. And like there's lessons and gift lessons, gift supporter roles. I think that could be a lot of fun. And then you have all the commands down here, which I think should be is a little bit nice. You guys can see all the commands you have access to. So I think it should just be a little bit cleaner for you guys. And of course, you links to the Classy Approach. Oh, I actually added a video tab. The video tab shows... it's kind of messed up on the beginner's problem here, but beginner's tabs shows some main playlist and videos that I have right now. The Classy Approach series, beginner lecture series, how to play Go series, the Classy lecture, beginner Joseki's, how to count, the Shy Ghost lecture, and beginner Go problems. And I'll put like some main videos that I think will be like the main, most important videos of the channel. I'll probably put on this page. Like, so if anyone has recommendations of like some of the most important videos that I have, then I can put them on this page. So that way I just have like a single location for like the most important videos. Not at the moment. Not at the moment. I'm running low on funds, so I don't really have the funds to hire other teachers to do other stuff at the moment. Unfortunately. Then, of course, the Classy Approach. Unfortunately, I'm a little bit low on funds. Whew. Any other Q&As? Any other Q&As? How much do you read capturing races? You mean how many moves can I read a capture race? Do you know the mathematical rules? I just like I read them. So basically what I read for a capturing race is I read all the Liberty to Tsujis and then I can count them. And if I'm unsure, then I'll just read the whole thing. But mostly I just read all the Liberty to Tsujis and count. And if it's just a really confusing one, then I'll read all the Liberty to Tsujis and just go 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 and just read it to the end. But if you're asking me if I can visualize a whole capturing race, then yes, I can visualize a whole capturing race. And I've talked about how to increase your stone visualization. It's really important. Read ladders, read capturing, yeah, read ladders, read capturing races, and visualize the stones, and do that for years. Like I spent 2 years reading every single ladder, regardless if it worked or not, regardless if it was my game or not. I visualized every single ladder I came across in my games, other people's games, lectures, or whatever. I would visualize it, and I did that for 2 years to develop my stone visualization. So visualize the stones for Go problems, visualize ladders every day for like a year will really help out with your stone visualization. So you can develop that. But technically, yeah, I can just visualize the answer. Yeah, but the important thing about capturing races is being able to count the liberties and finding all the liberty Tesujis. Because, kind of like with a ladder, like, after a point, you can just read out the ladder and you can read out, like, several tens of moves. But there's a point where the shapes are more relevant 30 moves down the road. So even though the problems are small, it's important to learn the concepts of Liberty, Tesujis, and stuff like that. Do I have any book recommendations? Yes, I do. I do have the Classy Approach series on my channel as well. For those who just learned the rules and want to start understanding strategy, that's what the Classy Approach series is. And that's on YouTube. But Amazon for book series, there's two. Elementary. I'm brain farting. Series to go. I just spelled that wrong. Elementary Go series. That's what it is. Elementary Go series. Come on. There we go. These. Elementary Go series. It's a series of books. Those are really good. And the other one that is very similar, but slightly higher level. It's like a couple ranks stronger each book, but it's basically the same stuff, just slightly stronger. Is the Get Strong series. Get Strong at Go series. That's another series. So each of those series are really good for double-digit Qs. For those who don't really understand strategy yet, I really think the Classy Approach series helps out with this as well, and that's free. But if you want a book series, these two series are really, really good. Just start with the opening and honestly, just buy the whole set. Start with the opening and work through each of them. Yeah, get strong at opening, get strong at endgame, get strong at attacking, get strong at Tesuji, yada, 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 yada. Elementary Go series has Elementary Josekis, blah, blah, blah. Both of those series are really, really good. Elementary Go series and the Get Strong series. All right. Any other questions? Any other advice that I can give? I don't think anyone else is in the queue. Yeah, the queue is empty. If you guys are interested in joining the queue, you can do so by subscribing on Patreon and just link the Patreon to Discord. And it's $5 a month and you can get game reviews. You can join the queues for game reviews twice a week. So if you're interested in that, or if you're interested in lessons, Patreon is a great place. Patreon.com/Clausius. And one of these days, Streamlabs might actually work for YouTube. But, right now, I'm just happy to be able to include YouTube viewers. Any other questions that I can answer? Anything that I can do to help you guys? You can also just ask me, like, I guess, unrelated questions since we don't have a lot of questions. We can also find someone to, like, who would we raid? Probably be ending soon. Grey Wolves has a mask, a wolf mask. That's funny. Probably will raid Grey Wolves, and then he'll probably raid Faithy in a little bit. So yeah, if there are no more questions, then probably we can call it here. Oh, am I pro or against? I'm against pineapple pizza. Meat lovers all day. Meat lovers all day. But yeah. Pineapples. Mm-mm. Alright, so if there are no more questions, then I guess we'll go ahead and call the stream here. So hopefully I was able to give you guys good advice today. Hopefully I was able to help you guys out. As always, if you're interested in supporting what I do, Patreon is a great way to do it. For those interested in the other benefits and stuff, I have Clausius.live is the website. Is my website now. Has a bunch of point systems and everything else. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.